Scissor Shirts, K104 DFW's Hip Hop and R&B, your home for more laughs with Didi in the morning, man. I got a special guest in the studio. Honor, a privilege, and a blessing, my man Barry, aka the Electric Cowboy. What's up, Barry?
Hey, how's it going?
My man got that smooth accent. Welcome to the city, man. This is dope. So there's this ride that you're doing across the country on your electric motorcycle. Tell me about what's going on, man, and tell me why you're here in the Triple D, man. Appreciate you pulling up on us, man.
It's good to be here. Yeah, so I'm in Dallas for a few days at the moment. I'm riding across America on what I call the Outlaw Tour. It's a tour riding an electric and bicycle across America from New York to LA, going through every single state possible, all the way down.
You got too much energy, man. I'm about to say it's not a real bike, it's an electric bike, so you just sit back and enjoy the breeze. You don't have to pedal or nothing.
Oh, I'm pedaling. You don't take that away. I'm pedaling. Yeah.
All right, let me find out you got a 50cc motor in there. My man Barry's in the studio, man. Watch on the gram at CatDaddy104. My man is, you know what I'm saying, clearly in the D. He's riding through his motorcycle. I want to hear some of these stories. Get on that at CatDaddy104 and get on these tickets after 10. And your song is on the way. Let's do some Tuesday.
I'm on the stage right now.
Yeah. Oh, some breezy on the way. We're gonna bang that next. Keep it on. It's K104. Let's go. Yeah. Welcome to the nightlife. You're just now tapping in. Man, Barry is in the building. That's right, the Electric Cowboy. Man, what a blessing, man, for you to slide in the studio and come hang out. Tell me about this tour across the country, man, and tell me what it's been like, you know, from start to right now, man.
Yeah, it's been quite an adventure. So I started in New York riding on a Super 73, which is an electric e-bike. So if you don't know what an e-bike is, it's basically a bicycle with a motor in the back. And you just pedal and it gives you a bit of like pedal assist. So I do have a throttle that I can use to kind of get me going.
Okay.
But in order to save battery and to get longer distances, I pedal a bit. But it's not like a regular bicycle where you're using all the effort. You only need to pedal a little bit, and it kind of
just kind of amps up your
exactly
your
yeah.
effort.
So once you get up to speed, you can keep like a nice cadence going, and then you're cruising. So I'm usually going at around 24 miles per hour. 24
miles per hour.
I can get up to 23.
So
35.
This trip across the country is going to take you forever, man. You only going
3 months.
3 months.
So I've been on the road for a month already. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me what's it been like, you know, going through some of these cities, man. Some type of reception you've been getting, like some of the hot spots throughout the country.
The hot spots. So it got kind of hairy when I got into Washington at one point. Okay. So some guy tried to get into my hotel, like it was a Motel 6. Tried to get into the
DC.
DC.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. DC.
That was a little hairy, but in terms of like the weather and the bike, man, getting over the Appalachia.
Oh yeah.
Virginia, West Virginia.
Smoky Mountains.
Oh, beautiful, but man, that was tough.
Really?
I was pushing this thing up the hill. I had to get off it for miles. Yeah, just to get it over.
So then you're stopping. How often are you stopping? Every couple hours?
So yeah, usually I probably go like 3 hours.
Okay.
So I get about 50, 60 miles.
Okay.
Then I have to stop. I'll find like a Cracker Barrel. I'll find somewhere like I once charged around the back of a Dairy Queen. So this bike charges off like 110s.
Regular plug.
So that's the most amazing thing. If a car was to do this journey, it would probably cost them about $800 on gas.
Right.
And for me, it's free. Well, not free to all the homeowners and cafes and Dairy Queens.
So you're stealing electricity. That's the trick. I know that's the trick.
Don't tell them.
The Electric Cowboy strikes again.
Yeah,
he got a bandana. He's like one of them. What's his?
It's the modern day outlaw.
Billy the Kid. He pulls up and he steals all your electricity out the back and rides off in his electric motorcycle. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna fit in good right along here in Texas, man.
That's pretty much it.
So where did this all come from, man? Where does this stem from? How did you get started? And you know, what's the purpose? Like, what are you trying to do with it?
So it began. So I run a creative media agency out of London. So I do videography and media for brands. And I came up with this idea about riding a bike across America, but not just any bike. I wanted to push the boundaries of e-mobility. So the whole project is around pushing the boundaries of personal electric transport.
Whoa.
And so with that, I've also involved 2 charities.
Okay.
And you can donate. Well, you can sponsor them and support on my channels. But that is the November Foundation, so Men's Mental Health Awareness, and UNICEF, which is for kids. And so with that, I wanted to get a whole bunch of more brands together and kind of have this like on the road little marketing kind of moving bike.
Okay.
With helmet brands and this kind of stuff.
So is that what you got? You got a full team running with you?
Kind of, yeah. So I've got a good support team behind me, helping me out with, and then I've obviously got a Western wear brand to go there. So they've So that's the whole cowboy theme going with that. Yeah.
All right.
So I've got these two polar opposites. So what's a cowboy doing on a bike?
All right.
But it's right on not a bike but an electric bike.
Yeah.
But it kind of works. It's kind of fitting. You've got it's like the modern outlaw because this bike is kind of an outlaw. It doesn't fit in with motorcycles and it doesn't fit in with bicycles. Yeah. So you got this kind of modern outlaw and it's in its own. You are breaking some rules. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll go through red lights because I've got no.
You can because
you can.
Yeah, it's a pedal bike.
I've got no registration.
So a lot of people freak out when you pull up and they see and they ask questions about what it is and how it works.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked all the time. Yeah. Like people's reactions has been hilarious. I've had some guys like drive past and actually pull over just to ask me what it is. Yeah. Some guy stopped behind me just because he thought I was out of gas. Okay. And he was like, I saw you pedaling your ass off. He's like, do you want gas? I'm like, no, it's electric. And they're like, what? Yeah. And I got stopped. Okay. So I got stopped on the Virginia State Highway on an interstate by Virginia State Police because I was not supposed to be on an interstate.
Right, on the shoulder or whatever.
I mean, I knew I was there because it was the straightest route, but I'm not supposed to. Anyway, so I get pulled over and this guy comes up. He's wearing all the gear, the hat, super smart, comes walking up to me and he's like, hey man, license and register. Wait, what is that? What is that thing? Yeah, and I was laughing and I had to explain to him and they were really friendly.
That's really why he pulled you over, man. He wanted to ask you about it.
Yeah. He's like, what the heck is this thing?
Yeah, he wanted to see what it was.
It's been an interesting reaction.
Well, that's cool. So what's the company that makes the bike? Who's the...
So they're called Super 73.
Echo?
Super 73.
Oh, it's called the Super 73.
Yeah.
Oh, they said Echo.
Echo, no.
Oh, so it's Super 73?
Super 73. They're based out of Irvine, California.
Okay.
I mean, there's lots of different brands who make e-bikes like this, but they have the biggest community. So they've got a big, e-bike community in Austin, and they've got them, throughout the States. So my plan is to go visit these communities and talk to them, get ride with them, and explain, they're not just for city use. You can ride across America on
Right. So you're not just a rider, you're a smooth talker too. You gotta use your gift you gab and try to persuade people and you're the spokesperson for for this bike and for this movement. That's really dope. So when you're riding on your route, right, you're going 25 miles an hour and you said you got a crew with you.
No.
Oh, they're not with you?
No. I say when I say I have a crew behind me, as in metaphorically,
Oh, so you're just riding out here just naked, just you in a backpack?
I'm not usually naked, but sometimes.
I mean,
maybe from here on out, just my hat.
You're riding solo.
Totally unaided. Yeah. So it's riding solo. So if I get in a hairy situation, I'm down to me to push the bike with a flat or whatever.
So then who's getting footage? You just got your boy Max Story following you around the whole country, man?
Yeah. Well, I might need to hire him now after this. But no, I do all the filming myself.
He can follow you in his slingshot, man, and hold the camera out.
You won't be driving very fast.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna ask you. If if you had a crew with you, it's almost like I'm in my mind. I'm thinking like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
There's like the mobile home, but you're actually out there by yourself, bro. You're just rolling solo.
100%. Filming everything.
So then it's very peaceful out there, very therapeutic for you. I know this is like part of a men's awareness thing that you're running. Tell me what that means.
Exactly, so I come from a motorcycle background.
Okay.
And so riding motorcycles, you've got noise, you've got engine vibration, you've got the smell of fuel, you've got all these things like visceral feelings that it makes a motorcycle. And we're very attached to that with the motorcycle. But when you ride this like an e-bike, you have none of that. All you can hear is like a bit of the chain and a wheel. And so you're really immersed in the environment around you. You can see, you can smell, you can hear everything around you because you don't have, those attachments that a normal combustion engine has. So in a way, it's actually, it's more humbling to be on a bike that only goes can go faster, but you're averaging 25 miles per hour and you're taking in so much more. And it also gives you an opportunity to stop and wave to people. Not usually, depends where you are. Right. But you're kind of taking a little bit more in the environment.
Yeah, because the motorcycles are very aggressive to a lot of people. They're very obnoxious to people that want to be quiet. So you're coming through smooth, but are you still wearing your cowboy hat on this ride?
Sometimes. Yeah. Well, when I can, if it's not a long ride, I'll throw it on. But normally I'm wearing a helmet.
Well, that's good. So what are you looking forward to for the rest of your trip, man? Like, how are you worried about the bike? how dependable it is, and you know, are you worried about that at all? Is there like a backup bike that you're using, or
No backup bike. The only issues I've had are tire issues.
okay?
So
Okay.
the actual bike itself has been fine. I've just had a couple punctures, as you do, riding across America.
Okay.
But I'm really looking forward to actually getting down into the rest of Texas. Good weather, going to see Arizona, going up to Grand Canyon.
Damn.
Yeah, this is where like the fun.
So I take it you've been to the United States before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here a few times.
So then you've kind of like scoped out how did you pick your cities? What was
Yeah,
the,
so I'm glad you brought that up. So I actually 2 years ago I did a drive I rented a car from LA and drove it all the way to Nashville.
Ooh.
And it's pretty much that route I'm doing on the bike, just not the interstates, but same cities. So I came all the way through.
A few miles off,
got it.
north or south of the interstate. What route is that you drove on? Was that Route 66?
No, I think there is a part of Route 66, but I came all the way. I came south, so LA straight to Phoenix, Tucson, El Paso, Marfa, Austin, and then up to Dallas. So I skirted right along the border. So I'll be doing a similar route to that.
Dang, man, like that's really crazy. So what do you miss, man? I'm being on that bike. Like, I know you miss something. You know, like you're thinking, like, man, I'd rather be doing this, or you know, because I think that's part of it is for you to appreciate, you know, to take part in this and to be completely focused in this, but to also make you appreciate and you know get some perspective on the other things that are going on in your life. You know, what are you missing, and or you can't wait to get back to what, or on to the next thing?
I mean, you know, you're on the road a lot, so you got a lot of time to think by yourself. I mean, obviously you do miss your friends because you know you're at random hotels every single night, you know, with random people you don't know.
Oh, okay.
So you know there is that. But I'm fortunate, you know, my brother calls me every day just to check in and things like that. But honestly, you know, I don't miss all that much. You know, for me, this is like a trip of a lifetime.
Right.
You know, I'm very happy, and content being by myself. You know, I was ex-military, and so I'm used to kind of dealing with all the stuff. You know, planning. You know, executing missions and that kind of stuff. And so, for me, it's just another goal, target to hit.
Just another thing.
But the main thing is meeting new people. For me, that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got a good common denominator, you know, people that like bikes or, you know, people that like motorcycles, you instantly have something in common, and, you know, it's going to, you know, kick off conversation. I mean, that's why you're here. We talked probably an hour, you know, just about motorcycles before we cut the camera on and before we got on the radio, just you know, sharing stories and learning how people, you know, are attracted to those things. So, so how can people donate? How can people get involved? If people want to support your movement, so man, it seems like, and what does it benefit, and how have you, you know, who are some of the people that are going to benefit? You know, obviously, you know, these people that are, you know, that are supporting, and there's, you know, it's got to be a connection to you. What is that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do a lot. Well, so I have two main social accounts: is Harry Blaze Fryer and the Electric Cowboy Official. So those are the two main accounts where you can actually follow the story. And then on there is a Just Giving account where I have my two charities that I've chosen. So the main charity is the Movember Foundation, and it's supporting men's mental health awareness and prostate cancer. So I have people close to me who've had prostate cancer and people who have issues with, you know, men's mental health, which is kind of fitting, like you're saying, riding across America by yourself. And then the other one is UNICEF, which is providing homes and care for kids. Yeah,
that's too good, man. Let's take a quick break and we're going to come right back with the Electric Cowboy. Yeehaw! Let's ride. Whoa. Cat Daddy K104, yeah. All the money. When I say random questions, I mean random questions. Like I would tell you to study, but you never know what she's going to ask. You either know it or you don't. But I know you're not going to get paid unless you set your alarm clock and wake up and get that money, man. 625 and 905 only with DD in the morning right here on K104. We about to bang too. Let's do Sister Kill Bill, Rima, Calm Down. That's your song. We'll put it on. And the new Nicki Minaj, Red Ruby, the Sleeves. Whoa, that's your song. We'll put it on. Two songs from right now. It's K104. Let's go. Whoa, now we back, Cat Daddy. K104, that's right. Dallas, Fort Worth. We turning up. Man, Harry is in the building. Electric Cowboy. This is so dope. Man, my man's been sliding through the country. I want to say the city, but he's sliding through the country on this electric bike. It's it looks like a bike. It looks like a motorcycle, but it's all electric. And my man Harry is showcasing it all across the country. Man, it's such a blessing that you came through Dallas and, you know, kicking it on the nightlife for me. I got some notes right here. I want to talk to you.
Sure.
You're riding 25, 30 miles an hour. You're cruising through the country. What are you listening to, man? What is the soundtrack for this electric bike ride?
Yeah, that needs to be a soundtrack.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing a helmet that actually has like inbuilt audio.
Okay.
So I can just control it on my phone, and I just playing.
Everything's Bluetooth. Yep.
I'm a big country fan.
That's my wife. Excuse me. Hold on. She heard me talking about motorcycles. She making sure I'm not on one. Hello. I'm doing an interview right now with the Electric Cowboy. Yeah, they don't come out until later. I'll let them know. Yeah. All right. Fans bopping. No, that's my wife. So you got so you got the speakers and you run everything through the Bluetooth. So what's on the soundtrack, man?
So the soundtrack is I don't know if you're a huge fan, but it's a lot of country.
Okay.
It's a lot of like new wave country and a lot of
I like Luke Combs.
Exactly, Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen. Yeah,
okay.
like
Morgan Wallen. Yeah. Leading Broadway girls alone.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, so it's a lot of that, and I'm updating it kind of daily, and then bit by bit, I put like a post out saying, hey, I need submissions, I need like add-ins, and then so people are kind of chiming in, saying, oh, this is a good track, and so I add it, and then other people can then follow that same one.
Oh, that's dope.
And then because I put out daily reels of the day, and then I'll pick a song from that soundtrack
and run it
on that. Yeah, so that'll be that.
That's cool, man. Well, what about that's your music. What about food, man? Where have been your favorite places to eat, or you just kind of grab a sandwich and just keep riding? What do you?
I try. I mean, I try and at least get like a salad every 4 days, because man, Middle America it's barren. It's like you got a Dairy Queen, you got an Arby's, and you've got like a Zaxby's. That's it.
Okay.
And if you're lucky, there's like a McDonald's and a Burger King.
All right.
Yeah.
What about
It's difficult. I got little protein bars on the go.
Okay, yeah, Cliff bars. And
I mean, usually what I do in the morning is I'll make up like what we used to call in the military called like a nutty bag.
Okay.
Like a nut bag, and you fill it with nuts. I break apart those little what are they called?
Granola
Twizzlers.
Bars? Oh, Twizzlers.
Twizzlers.
Okay.
So you got a bit of like sweet in there, a bit of granola bars, exactly, a bit of protein bar, and you make up this bag of like nuts and peanuts and things.
Yeah,
just grazing on that.
Essentials, just
because you're on this bike, you're burning like 1,900 calories.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I know you're getting tired. So, how far? Like, what's the furthest you've driven? Like in a stretch before you've seen before you've seen okay, I know it's gonna be 30 miles till I can stop and get something to get some rest again. Like, what are the stretches?
Oh man, I mean, one day it was 110 miles.
Yeah.
Well, I got caught in some severe weather. I got caught in the storms coming out of Jackson, Tennessee. Yeah, that was real bad. So I was absolutely soaked. I made it maybe 10 miles because I thought it would be fine, and then I was just absolutely drenched. I walked into a gas station and I was like leaving trails of water. Yeah. And the woman was like, I went straight to the bathroom just to like dry off. And that was a 110-mile day. And I just had to keep carrying going because I was like, I'm already wet. Yeah. So I'm going to carry on going. So
I know this is crazy, but electricity and water doesn't mix. Were you kind of worried? Were you kind of scared?
I mean, you're right. Yeah. So there's this little screen, right? A little dial that shows what mode you're in. To get like a wrapper from the little breakfast inn, where the knife and fork was kept, to like wrap it over that, because this little screen can't get wet usually. Yeah. And I use duct tape, so I had this like makeshift little like cover just for the screen, but the rest of the bike, it's fine. It's fine. I was really impressed. Okay. Yeah, and all my luggage was all like rolled up in little bags, and luckily, the only thing that was wet was me.
Has anybody put this bike to the test? Like, you're putting it to the test?
I really don't think they have.
Pushed it to the limit, because you're really pushing it to the limit. It seems like just the sequence of days that you're lining up and the amount of miles. I don't think this bike is.
No, I've already done nearly 2,000 miles in one. Like, I don't think anyone. I mean, these bikes have done that over time, but not day after day after day after day with a lot of weight. Like, I'm carrying like big bags, camera gear, all this stuff, going uphill, downhill, over all kinds of terrain. So that's kind of like partly it is to push it to its absolute limit. And like I said, I've only had a few flats here and there. I've had the other guys like message me saying, hey, I rode a bike from like Paris to Denmark or something like that. I'm like, that's a long way. But they only made half of the way. And that got me worried when I heard that. And I've already done double that. Yeah, it's amazing. So far, the bike's been fine.
Yeah, because it seems like, it being an electric bike and you have to charge it, when you get a chance. Like, even, your phone charger or your car charger will get a short in the wire.
Right.
Or it might not charge.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't charge like it fully like it used to. You know, sometimes like your phone, man, used to juice up and last. The 100% used to be a lot longer than the other. You know, the new 100%.
Yeah. No, I've once left the battery. I forgot to charge one battery, and so that was bad. So I only had because I'm running around with 3.
Okay.
And that gets me about 110 miles a day, like maximum.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to charge one up, so I only had 2 for that day.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't a good. It was a bad spot.
This guy right here is like the human alternator. You know what I'm saying? You know the alternator, like it charges your car after your battery gets your car, you know, fired up. The alternator is what powers your car from the engine running. So that's
me. It's just a little version of me in there, just
Electric
on a
Cowboy.
hamster wheel.
Yeah, the straighter, man. He's the straighter. All right. Talk about your first bike, man. Obviously, you got a love for bikes. Tell me about your first bike, your first pedal bike.
Wow.
And your first motorcycle bike, you know.
First pedal bike.
Yeah. Where does this passion come from, man?
Well, I mean, first pedal bike must have been when I must have been about 2 years old, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad used to ride a lot of motorcycles when we were
really?
kids. Yeah, he was a big rider.
Okay.
And then kind of that stemmed into a passion of just getting on dirt bikes. So then I had my brother and older sister. We all had little dirt bikes when we were kids. We were very fortunate growing up. We had a lot of land around us, like the local village, and we used to tear down. And then our dad would come back from work and have like the local post office call us and be like,
Harry!
yeah, like call us back. Like, yeah, exactly. We get cornered in. And then that kind of grew and grew and grew. I mean, it was always a hobby up until about 5 years ago, where I got back into it and I saw this emerging scene of cafe races in London, which is where it originally started in the 1960s. And I was like, this is a cool scene. What are those things?
Yeah.
So people were just doing crazy stuff to these bikes, putting all like modern components, but it was a vintage bike. And so I built my first custom bike when I was 20 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, there in London.
Damn.
And then I did it with a buddy. And then from there, people started chiming in, going, "Hey, what is that thing? Like, where did you build it?" I'm like, "I built it. Can I get one?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can build you one." And then that just developed more into a thing. And then, yeah, from then on, like I was pretty head on into like the custom motorcycle scene in London. And then I started building and developing communities around that. And then founded this place with these other guys.
Yeah, the shed, right? The bike shed.
Yeah,
well, tell me about that.
Well, the bike shed came on later, so I'm not a founder of that, but I came in later. But the bike shed is it's like a motorcycle mecca.
Okay.
Like absolutely, it's for people who love motorcycles and for people who love motorcycles. So if you don't like motorcycles, it's fine. You can still go. You know, it's not kind of shoving it down your throat, but it's like imagine like a Hard Rock Cafe for bikes. So you've got a big destination space with a restaurant. You've got a drive-through motorcycle garage with tables and chairs outside.
To pull in.
Yeah, it's the first time you see it, it kind of freaks you out.
Yeah, it's like the red carpet for the.
It literally is, and people get scared. Every time people come through, they're like, "I was so worried today about riding through that because it's all eyes on you. It's the catwalk, we call it.
Yeah,
and
catwalk.
it's the scariest road to drive in London because you've got about 50 eyes of all these, diners sitting watching you.
Everybody's drinking their coffee, eating a sandwich or whatever, and they're just staring at you, checking out your bike.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's it. And
Don't fall.
Exactly. People stall all the time. Yeah, it's embarrassing, man. It happens, and everyone's like, "Oh, like it's your first bike, whatever." But it's a fun place.
Yeah, so they have one in London, and your hat says Los Angeles.
Exactly.
And there could be another one coming to Texas.
You're right.
I'm excited about
Dallas
this,
might get its very own bike shed at some point.
I'm excited about that, man. That's really cool.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a destination space, but we're building it up big. So we want to put this everywhere. It's a place. It's like a safe space and where motorcyclists can go, and they know their bike is safe, but also they can meet and link up with other motorcyclists.
I know there's a lot of people that would be really excited to to have the bike shed here. I mean, there's so many crews out here, man, super bikes and the 214 boys and Bike Life, Supermotos, the Harley boys at Strokers, which is another spot kind of like the bike shed. But I think it would be nice, man. You'll get great support out here. There's a big bike scene out here, and I think bike shed would do really good.
That's good to hear.
If not for the bikes, at least a good place to get something to sip on and some good food.
That's it. It's all about that. Good food, good company, and good bikes.
Hey, this is my man Harry, the Electric Cowboy. He's cruising through the country right now. Stopped here in the Triple D. Appreciate you sliding through the show. Let's go, Cat Daddy K1041.